Hello, it's Bony Tony here, and it's a Bony Productions outside broadcast production from Manchester United. Look, and so a rare outside broadcast. Now here I am outside Old Trafford, home of Manchester United Football Club. Of course, they are still waiting for permission to build New Trafford. They've been waiting for many decades, but Manchester City Council just won't let them do it. Probably because Manchester City Council support Manchester City. Ha ha ha, that's a cracker. No, but seriously folks, Old Trafford is an area of Trafford Borough which is part of Greater Manchester. And just across the road is Salford, which, although a separate city from Manchester, is nonetheless part of Greater Manchester. Confused? You will be. Now, one of the great mysteries of all time, comparable to why is the earth flat, or why did the British royal family call itself Windsor to hide its German origins and not call itself Kingston upon Hull, is why are Manchester United called Manchester United when Manchester is not united at all, because there is rather a large club also in Manchester called Manchester City. Yeah, City. The noisy neighbours. I don't know. All neighbours are either noisy or nosy, aren't they? Although I did once meet a neighbour with no nose. How did he smell? Terrible. Oh, right. Now, so I am now going to give you a history of Manchester United. Now, Manchester United's golden era really began in the 1950s with their new manager, Matt Busby, later Sir Matt Busby. Now, he was chosen specifically because of the name Busby, which sounds like Buzzy Bee. And a busy Buzzy Bee is, in fact, not a lot of people know this, the symbol of Manchester itself. Yes, a bee. I have a tattoo of the Manchester bee, but I'm not going to show it because it's too cold for me to take my coat off. Now, I'm outside the memorial to a sad episode in United's history. It's because what happened is Sir Matt Busby, who I was talking about, built up a great young side in the 1950s, and they enthusiastically entered the European Cup with the intention of challenging the likes of Real Madrid for the prestigious trophy. Fake Madrid had already been removed from the tournament, leaving quite rightly Real Madrid as the only rightful contenders from that great Spanish city. Ha 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 ha. Now, the memorial is behind me, and sadly there was a terrible plane crash in February 1958 on an icy Munich runway on the way back from a match in Belgrade, in which many great players were killed or injured. At least Sir Matt and others, including the great Bobby Charlton, who later became Baldy Charlton, and eventually they escaped and recovered to spearhead a great revival of the team in the 1960s. Now there's the memorial behind me to the February 1958 disaster, and very sad it is. But nice that it is remembered fondly. Well, not fondly, but remembered quite rightly by the fans. And now I'm going to move to some other statues of interest outside of the stadium. Nice blue sky. It's just kind of almost dark, but not 100% dark. So I am now going to go over to the statue of three, if I can see it through these glasses, three of the most legendary players of Manchester United's history, and they are from that period of the 60s when they came back from their unfortunate 1958 disaster to win the European Cup 10 years later in 1968 at Wembley with all of these three players in the team. So I'll just stand here where you can see them. You see those three players. There's George Best, fittingly called Best because he was one of the best players ever. He's the one I think on that side of the statue with long hair. He's Georgie Best, the footballing Beatle from Belfast. He had long hair, he was sexy, he had a swinging clothes boutique, man. He had fast cars, he had women flocking around him. Georgie Best famously said, I spent most of my money on cars, drink and women. The rest of it was wasted. Ha-ha, that's a cracker. Sadly, Georgie eventually lost his life to alcoholism, but Bestie really was one of the best. And then we also have in the statue in the middle, no, on the one holding the ball. Yeah, the one holding the ball. Yeah, I think so. That's Sir Bobby Charlton, who later became Sir Baldy Charlton. And then in the middle is Dennis Law from Bonnie, Scotland, who was a goal machine. Famously, later in his career, he moved to those nosy neighbours, Man City, and backheeled the ball into the Man United net in the last game of the season in 1974, which meant that United were relegated to the second division. Dennis, how could ye? And now I'm going to show you another statue. Now, United soon got promotion back to the top division, but it wasn't until the 1990s that Alex Ferguson, another Scot, became their most famous manager ever. So I'm going to turn around so you can see the Ferguson statue, hopefully. There's the Manchester United, there he is, just under the white writing, you can see a black statue. Let me just give me a second. Now, under Ferguson, as coach, or manager, as we Brits tend to say, United was the European Cup. They won the European Cup again, now the Champions League, of course, and many Premier League titles under the great Scottish manager there, with that black statue you can just about see there. And they became one of the best supported clubs in the world, in Manchester. So anyway, that there is Bony Productions' history of Manchester United. I hope you will subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you like this, then I, Bony Tony, will be doing more football-related posts soon. And don't worry if you're a Manchester City fan. I'll be visiting their stadium very soon to do a history of Manchester City. So bye-bye from Bony Tony outside Old Trafford, the home of Manchester United. And bye-bye from Sir Alex. Bye!